What's up? Some more fun facts for you. Now, if you're like me, you tend to get curious and look into some of the weirder sides of TikTok. One of those is the claim of weather manipulation by the government. So I decided to look into it myself, because to be honest, weather patterns being super weird, a little unsettling. Now, granted, it needs to be understood that this is not solely one problem. And 90% of the time, something that you need to take away from this, 90% of the time in any given situation, there are multiple sources of fault for every single one. So I decided to tackle weather control. Did you ever hear of a project called Project Popeye? Now, I'll be honest with y'all, I was a little bit skeptical. And global warming's still a thing, and yes, we still bear a lot of the brunt of the responsibility, corporations especially. However, there is actually a little bit of credit needed to be had for these conspiracy theorists. Turns out that some of the things that are being said are kind of valid. So in October 1966, President Lyndon B. Johnson approved a project called Project Popeye. This project was currently going to be used in Vietnam, where we were waging war with them, to use cloud seeding for weather manipulation because we weren't really successful on the war over there. We were having a hard time. Before this project, cloud seeding has actually been around since the 1940s. Scientists named Vincent Schaefer actually started cloud seeding using dry ice. Eventually, for the 1966 project of Project Popeye, they moved to using different materials. Silver and lead iodide, which was kept in canisters and then basically ignited in the sky, had pretty high levels of water condensation nuclei. Of course, before anybody loses their panties over this one, I actually went to the website, the CIA website, and I did find the document that supports this. Here is page 1. And here is page 2. So, yes, this project did exist. It was going to be used tactically in Vietnam. What a lot of people tend to do is take this theory and blend it with a different one. If you haven't learned what an HAARP grid is, I highly suggest that you go ahead and take a look for yourself. People tend to believe that this grid has the power to manipulate the weather, which isn't exactly true. And one of the private grids held in Alaska was originally owned by the Air Force, and then a company actually took it over. These grids are not like cloud seeding. Cloud seeding has to basically piggyback on an existing storm for it to work. HAARP grids are actually ionospheric heaters, and what they do is they basically help us study plasma turbulence phenomena. It remains to be seen whether or not ionospheric heating is causing issues, which it honestly wouldn't surprise me if it did. So, in short, can the government kind of control the weather? Kinda. HAARP responsible for everything going on right now? Not really.